everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you all for being here. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's see if we can fix this camera just a little bit. Because if, without any technical difficulties, what would this be? We got Amateur Aquatics. Alex, how you doing? Bandages, hello. Shy Gal, how you doing? Catbot, just what I needed. Carry Nature 1K. Holly Cardello, congrats on the 1K. So happy for you. Thank you very much. Sherry Kramer, congratulations. Thank you. Alex, hurry up. LOL. Catbot, there he is. What is happening, guys? Thank you all for being here. I hope everyone's doing well. And yes, I have hit the 1K mark. Someone added me somewhere. All right. Well, I haven't done creepy stories in a little while, or any good. You see, I'm still a little bit wonky. But we're going to give it a shot. Don't think you'll ever forget how to say my name again. Wilder Scotland King. What's happening, Chappy bro? How you doing? Well, I'm doing good. Welcome to the channel. One second. I have since hit 1,000 subscribers. I am super, super excited about that. YouTube is currently, they're currently checking out my channel. So it's kind of awesome. It could take like 30 days for them to approve it. But if we go to the monetization, get reviewed. YouTube will review your channel to make sure it complies with the YouTube monetization policies. But I'm very excited about that. Yeah. Mic is low. Well, let me turn the mic up. How's that? And what about that? That's probably a little bit better. That's probably too much. Sorry about that. That was just my phone, but I guess his mic is a little low. Well, hopefully it's a little bit better now. Hopefully some of these vids can get monetized soon. So when they do get monetized, you got to watch all the ads for me. Make me a bajillionaire. I'd appreciate that. I would love to YouTube full time, but that would be the best. Well, we can't start without our special ingredient. I was going to say special. Not that one. Oh, there it is. So any of you that haven't been here before, don't mind it. Don't mind the charade. This is what I gotta do. So we got our Burt's Bees right here. Just right here, you can see it says Burt's Bees. Got the two little buzzes. Maybe I can focus on them. You see them right there. Just little Burt's Bees. It says Burt's Bees. We're gonna put that on lips just like this. I will definitely watch ads for you. Thank you. BDC Pro 1969. Hello, everyone. Thumbs up for the Chappy. New to chat. Well, welcome. Tom streaming again. He always does this to me. He sees that I'm streaming. He's like, I gotta go live now. Can't stay long. Closing up shop. Just wanted to say, hey. Hey, Kevin. Guess what I did? I hit 1K. I know. I'm so freaking pumped about that. What's up, babyface? It's starting to go back in. You can kind of see it. Addict. Addicted to Burt's Bees? Nah. I just like my lips to be, nice. Well, the new Juan K-Fam. Bob and Tom are streaming. Yeah, well, they can stream all they want. I'm going to do some spoopy stories. And I'm celebrating my 1,000 mark. So if y'all want to go over there and tell them that they should all come over here and listen to some stories, I mean, it's whatever. But we've got some stories to listen to. Jesse, HC Aqua, how you doing, Bubba? I'm not sure who I'm stepping on to stream, but I am very excited. Go 12 hours without your precious Burt's Bees. I dare you. Ooh. Ooh, Dan, you play a dangerous game. You play a very dangerous game, my friend. Very dangerous indeed. Do I ask you to breathe without going 24 hours? Not to breathe for that long? I mean, everyone started streaming. Woohoo, 1,000. I know, I'm so stoked about that. And YouTube is currently reviewing me. Why am I not seeing Tom on my... Lurking. Tell me a story, Chappy. Oh, yeah, this little guy? Yeah. Well, let's get into some stories. Once again, I've not read these in the in the future like I should have. I tried to. I started to. Just wasn't doing it for me. I have to do it on stream. I gotta, like, when I get these stories, it's like I gotta do it on stream. I think I might have one, though. I can't stay, but I wanted to congratulate you on 1K subscribers. Well, thank you very much. And I'm just 9,000 away from more. 9,000 away from 10K. Hey, Scotty G. Ooh, Scotty's Aquatics. Ooh. All that gaming ruined you. Ruined me? No. So I have a story here. It's called The Art of Jacob Emery. We can get right into it, and let's test these waters out and see how we like it. This is written by Douglas Greenwood and Peter Devine. Here we go. Ghost stories? Nah. We don't have anything like that around here. We do have the story of Jacob, but that's as close as you'll get. You really want to know? Well, I'm not supposed to tell you, but that's all right. Just no interrupting. I don't have patience for it. How to describe Jacob Emery? Well, I guess you could say he was the kind of guy you could never take notice of. This isn't to say he was a bad kid in any sense. Many people in this town thought he was the most reliable person for an odd job in the state. But he never really excelled in anything. He was the living proof behind the statement, Jack of all trades, ace of none. Most of this was due to his own lack of will. He dabbled in damn near everything this town could offer him. Automobiles, radio operation, store management, what have you. But he never stuck with anything. His friends and workers went after him about it a number of times, but everyone got the same unsatisfactory response. It just wasn't enough. Needless to say, any friends he kept were either very patient or never spoke of the matter altogether. It was probably inevitable, then, that Jacob would leave to go to abroad. I don't remember where he went, but I think Gertrude down the street knew before she passed on. You'll have to scout someone else's if you ever want to get curious. In any case, no one even tried to stop him. Everybody... Shut up, screaming. Damn dog. He just likes to bark. A tree falls or a leaf falls 4 miles away, he barks. Anyways. Let me see what they're barking at. Well, oh, oh my God, that scared me. Well, that's all right. We'll continue on. No pants. I got basketball shorts on. It just wasn't enough, needless to say. Any friends he kept were either very patient or never spoke of the matter altogether. It was probably inevitable then that Jacob would leave to go abroad. I don't remember where he went, but I think Gertrude down the street knew before she passed on. You have to scout someone else if you ever get curious. In any case, no one ever tried to stop him. Everybody thought that a little travel would stamp the ambition out of him, or else feed it until he was no longer an issue. Hell, we even gave him a send-off party, which I thought was pretty nice by everybody. So anyway, he was gone for 6, 7 years? Can't remember. You'll have to check with someone else about that too. Anyways, he came back, eventually. He had changed, obviously enough. He was amicable, energetic, all smiles all the time. And we all quickly learned why. He showed us a souvenir he had brought back. A solid black stick, the length of a pencil but the texture of chalk. We all wondered why on earth such a simple thing would prompt such a spring in his step. Until he gave his demonstration. He took a piece of paper, and with the stick, God, there's got to be a better word for it. With the stick, he drew a crude circle. It dropped and rested on the border of the paper like a stone. It didn't leave the paper, but it acted out on sort of like an old movie projector on a screen. Son, I know this sounds crazy. And if you feel like playing skeptic, then you can leave an old man to his craziness. But I know what I saw, even if everyone's been hushing it up. And that stone he drew dropped. Jake even passed around the paper. And as it was being passed, it rolled around as the paper got tilted. None of us had any words for it. Hell, what were we to say? But he continued drawing, demonstration after demonstration for us. Stick figures in various pageants and plays, doing everything from fighting each other to making perfect human pyramids. And we all thought it was incredible. That was all the go-ahead he needed. He announced that he planned to put on a show to pay for his rent and food, where he would draw anything that the crowd members wanted, that we, to some length, talked about. And he eventually convinced us that it would be safe, his drawings ethical, the practice lucrative and unique, and the attention would not go anywhere outside of the town's borders. Poor Jacob. If I'd not been so swept up in the moment, I might have read the signs right then and there, and saved the sorry son of a bitch by snapping the terrible thing in half. But I was younger. We all were. And we saw no problem with encouraging him. With what we saw was an incredible experience to be shared with everyone else. Now, he didn't have any big radio or television connections, mind you, and the internet wouldn't come around for another decade. So he did what all people on a shoestring budget do. He advertised his show with flyers. Flyers not mean anything to you big city folk, but to a small town, they gained a fair glance over from time to time. And what's more, Jacob managed to stick it out by having little figures jump up and down and whatnot to get the people's attention. His first show must have gotten nearly 60 or so people, probably a lot more than that. And his shows are fantastic. Someone would shout out a scene from a play or a comedy sketch, and Jake's hand would fly all over the while, like a bird. He had been holding back when he made the stone. That's for damn sure. His illustrations were spot on, and he can make an incredible human figure in minutes. Come to think of it, I don't remember any of his scenes lasting more than 10 minutes to make. They were really well done scenes, too. Not only could you see the knight charging a castle, Jake would draw a castle's interior as well, like a wedding cake split down the middle. So you could see the knight scale the walls, fight his way through the levels to a dungeon, fight his way back out with the princess, and make a leaping jump off the castle parapets into his getaway horse. All in complete silence. Not realistic, no, but that was part of the appeal. None of us went in there expecting something real. When a scene or a sketch was finished, either the character would leave off the wall or he'd cover the wall with white paint. This was good, in a way. It gave the show a time limit. And that when he'd finished with all 4 walls in the room, everyone knew that the show was over until the paint dried. Jake, meanwhile, was changing in a bad way. I had mentioned that upon his return. He'd been extremely energetic. Well, that energy, that vitality and fervor, or whatever you call it, it never left him. Not for an instant. Far from it. It seemed to grow in him. And he enjoyed it all too much. His eyes grew wider. He slept gradually less over time. His statements and opinions more radical and frenzied. And though he was never a pushover, he was starting to make people nervous in his company. A month or two passed, and Jake's audience grew like wildfire. Nearly everyone in town paid to see Jake's art in action, and he had to rent out larger and larger places for them all to sit. He now didn't stop after one scene was done. He would quickly move on to the next, putting on the next blank space of wall. Sometimes to the intriguing effect of causing scenes to mingle, which the crowd loved. The subject matter got more wild and immoral. The monsters got more bizarre and creative. The fighters using more impossible weaponry. All for the sake of the crowd's interests. Jake got steadily more indulgent, which we figured was from the money. And he became a drinker and womanizer, neither of which got rid of that vitality, by the way. Some of the women claimed when they'd waken up in the middle of the night to see him scribbling with that stick on the drawing pad, a gigantic grin on his face. And while most of them said they'd assumed he was drawing them in the nude, these rumors that one or two of them got glances on the notepad. Those anonymous few supposedly said those drawings absolutely weren't nude pictures. But neither of them, whoever they are, will say what he was drawing. Don't bother looking for the notepads or flyers, although they're all gone now. I'm getting off track. Point is, he was hitting the bottle, and that's what's important. Because that's the drinking, and that's what would eventually ruin everything. On the night of one of his performances, as he walked in the front of his cheering crowd, it was immediately apparent to everybody that he was completely drunk. I was in the front row. I could smell the bourbon on him from 10 feet away. The show started. He went through a bunch of sketches and scenarios the crowd recommended. And when at the end, someone asked him to draw himself, everyone cheered the idea. I guess we'd been wondering what his creations thought of him. And he eventually obliged. No sooner had Jake finished the connections of the final 2 lines on his coat than every single character across the vast, expansive wall all stopped and looked directly at his illustration. Lovers stopped kissing, clowns stopped laughing, robots stopped fighting pirates, everything stopped and looked at Jacob's illustration. The crowd died almost instantly. I remember Jake's face at that moment, pale white, full of terrible comprehension at his mistake, and looking desperately for the cans of white paint he'd forgotten to put out before the show. Everyone else, they were looking at fake Jacob. That Jacob reached into his jacket pocket, pulled out a little black stick of his own, and as we all watched, drew a door. He pushed on the side of the door and it swung open, allowing him to walk through onto the floor of the auditorium. The rest was absolute hellish phenomenon, pandemonium. People screaming ran for the exits as Jacob's characters, both those currently on the wall and those which had previously left before covering up, ran out of their own exits, throwing pies, shooting lasers, blowing fire and poison, all the impossible. I was near enough the exit to escape. I gave only one glance backwards. That scene will haunt me forever. Jacob Emery was being dragged by his creations, kicking and screaming, through the door his copy had made. The auditorium burnt down, obviously enough. But I had no idea how many characters escaped, what happened to fake Emery, or how many people died. The fire brought the fire department from the nearest cities up over 100 miles away. They in turn brought the police force, which brought the government, which hushed everything up. They took the flyers and any art Jake had made and swore everyone to secrecy or else life detainment. The fire was blamed on a cigarette and the garbage during a basketball game. We all eventually went on with our lives. Jacob was made to never exist. In retrospect, I realized everything. Jacob hadn't been creating illustrations. Illustrations don't move, much less attack. They're just images people see, shadows made to look like real things. Jacob had been creating life, actual thinking things in some alternate dimension, using a power that is never meant to fall to mortal hands. He got drunk on his power. His punishment was probably well deserved. Incidentally, The government screwed up on 2 different accounts. They did a damn good job silencing everybody, but proof remains. The ruins are still there, you know. The auditorium ruins. And I hear they're going to start reconstruction soon, which will wipe out any remaining evidence someone can definitely see. But I went back there once, several years after the fire. Just once. Amidst the rubble, covered in ash, I saw something squirming. I looked closer. It was Jacob Emery's hand on the wall, exactly like it had been there 3 years ago. Sweaty but calloused, I remember. But it was constantly failing, as if the body it was supposed to be attached to was still writhing in flames. That was mistake number 1. Number 2 was those damn creations. Like I said, I don't know how many escaped, nor how many of the government agents found and caught. But I will say this. Those tall grass meadows on the outskirts of town, don't go in them. Ever. You were asking about those white figures you seen at night, right? This town doesn't have ghost stories. Hey, everybody. Have a great night, everyone. I'll visit soon. Well, BDC, if you're still here, thanks for visiting. Did y'all like that story? I like that story. Thank you on the 1K. Each and every one of you, thank you. From the bottom of my heart. I am very excited about that. That's a very big deal to me, hitting that 1K. And, I mean, yeah, I'll have monetization on the channel, but I don't get enough views to buy that new Corvette. Please get 1,000,000 views. But I don't know. You know, it's one of those milestones that all YouTubers. Let me go for a piece of candy. My tongue's not blue. We're gonna fix that. 1 and a 2. Ooh, and a mint. See if I can put this down without making it fall over. Oh, it's tilting. Hey, there we go. Well, maybe tilt up a little bit. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. Good story. Can you read to me while I work every day? Aw. I wish I could. If y'all know any writers that want a voice actor, I'll do it. Chat's getting speedy. Time to hide. Oh, chat's not too speedy. I have red on my face. Where? Thank you, Mr. Zen. Hey, Big J. How you doing, Bubba? Carrie, I'll post that link for you one more time so you can read it. Or you can just rewind the stream. Oh, there it goes. It's turning blue. I don't want to stream over Dr. Black's stream, so we're just going to get into the next story. Did y'all like that story? I like that story. Thank you, Big J. Thank you very much. I couldn't do it without each and every single one of you guys. Y'all are awesome. And to 100,000 more or whatever. Well, okay, you'll rewind it. I wish I could have read that one all the way through. I'll have to do that on a separate time. I kind of like that story. So I'm going to save that one and do the proper YouTube video for it. Creepy stories probably shouldn't be so relaxing. So I don't get monetized just yet. No, no, not now for 2K. Now for 10K. That's the next milestone. It's gonna take like a month to get YouTube to review me, and we'll see what happens there. Have you ever tried writing them yourself? I have. I've done my own creepy stories when I was drunk. Um, I'll have to sit down and write some. Chappy's chat is going to get so fast. We'll see. It's going to be hard to understand everybody. I'll slow everybody down. Just don't press the buttons. I know, no joke. Well, there's a lot of videos for them to review. I can see your presidential run now. Vote for Chappy. Oh, man. Sorry, not sorry. I was almost meditating listening to creepy stories. Well, that's fine. Everybody finds their own thing. I don't think that one was so creepy. It was just an old man telling a story. You wrote one on Facebook? You're going to make me open up Facebook? I can do that. Where'd you send it? How did you send me a story? Let me see here. Oh, there it is. Oh, no, that's not it. Message requests. Hey, Snappy. If you could please send it to my email address at creepychappy@yahoo, or actually, or here, because I can put it on a notepad and read it. There might be a limit on how much you can send. Can I write a story about Chappy and his Wesleyan sweater jacket that has nothing to do with Chappy? Can I? Oh, that says not Chappy. That's Choopy. Choppy. If my chat gets too fast to handle, you have to put Candy on payroll. Oh. Why does she settle everybody down? How you doing, Jeremy? Welcome to the stream, Bubba. I'll do it for free if he keeps reading to me. Well, there you go. I'll send it again. Give me a few. Gotta retype it again. No worries. I'm gonna read another story in the meantime. 1K. I'm stoked. How about a not creepy story? How do y'all feel about a? Well, I'll just make this one another relaxing story. In the land of Chappy, we're all a bit candy. I should turn off top chat, turn on live chat. That's probably better. How you doing, Chewy? Welcome to the stream, Bubba. Not creepy. I can live with not creepy stories. Well, this one's a beautiful story. And this is to not go against anyone's religion. I don't want to get that kind of talk going. But it's just a nice story. I realized you're blushing, right? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Good day, Chappy and all. Congrats on the 1K. Thank you very much, GRB. Thank you very much. Bubba. Candy shouldn't MTA to be on. Did I miss something? Chappy's name of the Enderment. Bubba. I do not know what y'all are talking about. I think y'all are drunk. Let me read this story. It's called An Egg. I want to say it was a pretty famous writer that wrote this. Oh, yeah, Andy Weir. So Andy Weir wrote this. He's an American novelist. He wrote The Martian. And I just like this story. So we're going to read a famous one. You want to be a Bubba, Shay? But I got to call you Shay. I'm just kidding, Shy. Bubba Shy. Bubba Shy. Shy Bubba. I like that. This one's called An Egg. This is a very beautiful, beautiful story. Holy crap. That is too many. Oh, multi-tank addiction. Oh, is MTA streaming right now? I'm sorry. Let me see if this works. Sure does. This is the story right here. But I love this one. It's a beautiful story. It was a car accident. Nothing particularly remarkable, but fatal nonetheless. You left behind a wife and 2 children. It was a painless death. The EMTs tried their best to save you, but to no avail. Your body was so utterly shattered, you were better off, trust me. What happened? You asked. Where am I? You died, I said, matter-of-factly. No point mincing words. There was a truck. It was skidding. Yep, I said. I died? Yep. But don't feel bad about it. Everyone dies, I said. You looked around. There was nothingness, just you and me. What is this place? You asked. Is this the afterlife? More or less, I said. Are you God? You asked. Yep, I replied. I'm God. My kids, my wife, you said. What about them? Will they be all right? That's what I like to see, I said. You just died, and your main concern is for your family. That's good stuff right there. You looked at me with fascination. To you, I didn't look like God, just some man, some vague authority figure, more of a grammar school teacher than almighty. Don't worry, I said. They'll be fine. Your kids will remember you as perfect in every way. They didn't have time to grow contempt for you. Your wife will cry on the outside, but be secretly relieved. To be fair, your marriage was falling apart. If that's any consolation, she'll feel very guilty for feeling relieved. Oh, you said. So what happens now? Do I go to heaven or hell or something? Neither, I said. You'll be reincarnated. Ah, I said, so the Hindus were right. All the religions are right in their own way, I said. Walk with me. You followed along as we strolled the void. Where are we going? Nowhere in particular, I said. It's just nice and to walk and talk. So what's the point then, you asked? When I get reborn, I'll just be a blank slate, right? A baby? So all my experiences and everything I did in this life won't matter? Not so, I said. You'll have within you the knowledge and experience of all your past lives. You just don't remember them right now. I stopped walking, and you took you by your shoulders. Your soul is more magnificent, beautiful, and gigantic than you can possibly imagine. A human mind can only contain a tiny fraction of what you are. It's like sticking your finger in a glass of water to see if it's hot or cold. You put a tiny part of yourself into the vessel. When you bring it back out, you've gained all the experience it had. You've been a human for 34 years, so you haven't stretched out yet and felt the rest of your immense consciousness. If we hung around here for longer, you'd start remembering everything. But there's no point doing that between each life. How many times have I been reincarnated then? Oh, lots. Lots and lots. And into lots of different lives, I said. This time, you'll be a Chinese peasant girl in 540 AD. Wait, what? You stammered. You're sending me back in time? Well, I guess technically, time as you know it only exists in your universe. Things are different where I come from. Where do you come from? You pondered. Oh, sure, I explained. I come from somewhere else, and there's others like me. I know you'll want to know what it's like there, but honestly, wouldn't understand. Oh, you said, a little let down. But wait, if I get reincarnated to other places in time, could I have interacted with myself at some point? Sure, it happens all the time. And with both lives only aware of their own time span, you don't even know it's happening. So what's the point of it all? Seriously? I asked. Seriously? You're going to ask me what the meaning of life is? Isn't that a little stereotypical? Well, it's a reasonable question, you persisted. I looked into your eye. The meaning of life, the reason I made this whole universe, is for you to mature. You mean mankind? You want us to mature? No, just you. I made this whole universe for you. With each life, you grow and mature and become a larger and greater intellect. Just me? What about everyone else? There is no one else, I said. In this universe, there's just you and me. You stared blankly at me. But all the people on Earth, all you, different incarnations of you. Wait, I'm everyone? Now you're getting it, I said, with a congratulatory slap on the back. I'm every human who ever lived, or will ever live, yes. I'm Abraham Lincoln, and you're John Wilkes Booth, too, I added. I'm Hitler, you said, appalled, and you're the millions he killed. I'm Jesus, and you're everyone who followed him. You felt silent. Every time you victimized someone, I said, you were victimizing yourself. Every act of kindness you've ever done, you've done to yourself. Every happy and sad moment ever experienced by any human was or will be experienced by you. Why, you asked me, why do all this? Because someday you'll become like me. Because that's what you are. You're one of my kind. You're my child. Whoa, you said, incredulous. You mean I'm a god? No, not yet. You're a fetus. You're still growing. Once you've lived every human life throughout all time, you will have grown enough to be born. So this whole universe, you said, it's just an egg of sorts. Now it's time for you to move on to your next life. And with that, I sent you on your way. Mr. Jonathan Farnsworth. Hey, Pam, how you doing? We've got almost 30 people in here right now. That's crazy. Very cool story and concept. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a beautiful story. Oh, let me see if Shy sent it to my email. Shy, did you send it to my email? It's one of my favorites. Haha. Hello, I'm emotional from that story. Aww. Hi, baby in my tummy. That's also me. What flavors in your vape? It's what I had. Please tell me I have more. Oh, freaking sweet. I got 2 more. Oh, and I got more of this too. Oh, please tell me I have more of this. I think I might be out. Nope, I got 1 more. Oh, I got 2 of these. I got 2 green apples. Well, 1 barely used green apple. And what did I say? 2 of these? 2 of these, and then 1 lemon meringue. That's terrible. So, these 2. I vape on a kilo. I should get them to... I thought he vaped the souls of lost children. Alright, so let's see if we can find a creepy one. Now, in all fairness, I've read those before. So they were read easily. So, other ones I read probably won't be so good. But we'll give it a shot. Well, here we go. Here's a short one. This one's called Wrong Room. See, I told people, let's not talk about religious stuff. And we're talking about religious stuff. It's just a nice story. I'm not here to step on people's toes. This one's called Wrong Room. You get back to your apartment after a long day's work, and you want to get inside and rest. You are about to pull out your keys and unlock the door, but you notice it's open. Turning the knob and stepping inside, you notice something different. You stand in the doorway trying to figure it out. Then it hits you. This isn't your room. As you turn and leave, something catches your eye. There's a man hunched over a dish of flesh, eating it with his bare hands. Tearing into his wild animal would-be with his prey. Red dripped down the side of his mouth. The smell that emanated from it was sickening. You were paralyzed by the sight. Unconsciously, you start to cover your nose and mouth. This accidentally bumps your elbow against the doorway and you freeze. He stops eating. There was something wrong. Then he looks up and started searching for the source of the noise. His eyes scan the room till they find you. Your legs won't start moving on their own. You find yourself running away from that room and the horrors within. The man stands up, locks the door, sits back down, grabs another slice of pizza, and mutters quietly to himself, "Crazy vegans." Thank you, Miss Griffin. I thought it's a lovely story too, so I read it to you guys. Here's another short one. It's called Bad Dream. Hey, these are short ones. Daddy, I had a bad dream. You blink your eyes and pull yourself on your elbows. Your clock glows red in the darkness. It's 3:23. Do you want to climb in bed and tell me about it? No, Daddy. The oddest of the sensation wakes you up more fully. You can barely make out your daughter's pale form in the darkness of the room. Why not, sweetie? Because in my dream, when I told you about the dream, the thing wearing mommy's skin sat up. For a moment, you feel paralyzed. You can't take your eyes off your daughter. Then the covers behind you begin to shift. I don't think stories have to be super long for them to be good. In fact, I think short stories are sometimes better. Maybe with that YouTube money, I can afford myself a good tripod. Nope, I'd be out of there. This one's called The Demon Within. It was past midnight now, and I sat. Let me try that again. It was past midnight now, and I still had a while until I met my destination. Oh, no, wait. Nope. No, I'm not reading this one. Nope, never mind. No. No. No, it's a terrible one. If you want to read it, go ahead. It's a funny story, and I don't want to read a funny story right now. Sorry. I won't ruin it for you. I think I've read it for y'all before, too. I met Vince Price in Mayfair Inn in Edmond, but Chappy sort of reminds me of the librarian. What are y'all talking about? Who's streaming right now? Is Chewy streaming yet? MTA streaming? I'm sorry. Wolfman Jack. I went to one of his, he had like a diner or something in Orlando. I've went to that before. Put some makeup on him. Where is Horn Dog? I love me some Horn Dog. He's good people. The fish tank barn is starting soon. Oh. I was not subscribed to him. I am now. Let me see here. You haven't seen him yet? What is this one? Hey, Cougar. Yep, Chappy needs a gimmick. I don't need a gimmick. This one's called String Theory. We're going to give this a shot. Have you ever had an experience that suggested someone else was in your house and just thought, I don't want to know, and left it? Sometimes fear of the unknown just seems like the preferable opinion that facing a real, concrete danger. Normally it's nothing, though. One time, the beeper function on my wireless house phone went off when I was the only one home. It can only be called from the living room. Another time, I swear someone took some change from my desk. They're all probably just slightly disconcerting tricks of my memory. But what would you do when something truly suggestive happens? Would you run or just ignore it like I did? Last Monday was a normal day. I got up, brushed my teeth, changed into school clothes. All little parts of my morning ritual. It started like it was going to be another totally like it was going to be a totally unnoteworthy day until I saw the strings. There were 3 or 4 thick twined strings in my room. They crisscrossed between the walls around my bed. One attached to my door. No way I would have missed them before. I should have tripped over them. They were tied to pins on the walls, which had also not existed about 10 seconds ago. Nobody could have been in my room while I was in it, let alone set this up. It was early, and my brain wasn't processing correctly. I simply discredited the sight, untied the strings, and left for school, leaving them balled up on my desk. It didn't get any better later. Outside my house, there were hundreds of them, tied between houses, around cars, across streets. This had to be some super elaborate prank. One of those hidden camera shows, or a comedy improv blog. They'd gotten everyone else to play along too. Passers-by were tangled in them, tying them to objects, or just walking towards and away from, as if they'd all been or continuing to follow the course laid out for them. I nervously continued my journey to school. On the bus, every, except me, was tied to the door. At school, groups of friends were tied to each other. Teachers were tied to their desks and boards. Oddly enough, at this point, I could wonder, why was I left out? When my friend Lucy sat beside me in first period, she simply plonked her bag down on my lap and rested her chin on her hand, looking right past me to the outside window. "Hey, Lucy." No response. "Come on, I didn't expect you to be on this too." She sighed and started taking books from her bag. All the books were tied to her hands. I grinned and yanked one of the strings off a book. She didn't seem to notice, instead simply disregarded the book completely, letting it drop to the floor without a moment's hesitation. I leaned down, picking up her book and placing it back on her desk. She took no notice. "Well, if that's how we're going to play it," I smiled, trying to look playful, but I was really just trying to hide my nervousness. I bundled all the strings attached to her together with one hand, then pulled them all free. She blinked, turning to stare at me. "Holy crap, Martin. You're like a ninja or something." "I've been sitting here for maybe 10 minutes. I smiled again, relieved my friend had finally noticed me. "Where did all these strings come from?" she gasped, seemingly noticing them for the first time. "I assumed you were fucking with me." She stood up, backed into a corner. No one else in class noticed. "They weren't here a minute ago. Did you see them too?" Her tone made it clear she was genuinely scared. "No, didn't you?" I was interrupted by my teacher slamming the door behind her. Everyone except me and Lucy murmured a good morning, and still no one seemed to pay attention to either of us. "People had been ignoring me all day," I said to Lucy, before turning to our teacher. "Hey, dumb bitch, you can't teach for shit." No reaction. "I'm getting away from all this shit." Lucy pulled a few strings aside and left the class. I followed, and surprise, surprise, no one else noticed. We wanted a chair or a book from someone else. It was like it suddenly didn't matter to them. It didn't exist. I showed her the street outside. There were more strings than when I came in this, remembering how terrified she'd been. In the coffee shop, we grabbed a couple of sandwiches and drinks from the fridge. We found a table, untied all the strings, attached to the chairs, and sat down. We both ate in silence, both of us too scared. Both of us distracted by ourselves by watching the strangers in the shop, oblivious to the strings. After 20 minutes, Lucy spoke up. Now she's going to take that sandwich, she said, pointing at a woman across the shop. Sure enough, she walked to the fridge and took out the plastic wrapped sandwich she was tied to. She pays for it and leaves. She did so, according to the prophecies of the strings. That guy doesn't intend to pay. I watched as a man took his coffee and ran out of the store, the two servers looking too exasperated to go after him. That's horrible, she whispered. Let's go, please. Outside wasn't much better. Everyone just followed the strings, instructions, going about their daily lives. Lucy announced she was going to go home to sleep this off, and I agreed to walk her home. She only lives 10 minutes away. Away from the busier part of town, there were fewer strings. It was nicer. We could pretend it wasn't happening. When we turned onto Lucy's street, she stopped, her mouth falling open. What now? I broke the silence, my voice sounding surprisingly small. Look, she pointed outside one of her neighbor's houses. I saw it clearly. I will take my memory of that moment till the day I die. A little dark imp, maybe 3 feet tall, walking along with his knuckles on the ground, almost like a monkey. It had 2 bulbous yellow eyes, taking up about half of its face, and no mouth or any facial features. It was holding a hammer and a ball of twine, which it was letting out behind it. It walked quickly and quietly from the front door of the house to the mailbox. It stopped, hammered a nail into the side of the box, tied its string around it. It turned to face us and stopped when it noticed us. My bottom fell out even further than it had already been, but it just stared with a look of surprise and curiosity. You could almost say it was more frightened than us. Suddenly, it beckoned to us with its tiny hand. Hey, Ed. I looked at Lucy. She hadn't moved. I looked back at the imp, which stared at me. I halved the distance between us, then halved it again. This wasn't the fear of the unknown anymore. It was fear of this little guy. Didn't seem anything to be scared of. When I was a meter away from it, it extended its hand. Hi. I shook it. It nodded in approval, blinking its massive yellow eyes at me. So you're the one in charge of the strings? It nodded eagerly. I called Lucy over, but she stayed where she was. There are more of you? Another nod. I wanted to ask so many questions about what it was and where it came from, but it seemed for now I was stuck with only yes or no questions. Do we even have free will? It looked at me, almost sadly. I immediately felt sick to my stomach and couldn't bear looking at the little monster anymore. I grabbed Lucy, who had been listening for our exchange, and now sat on the curb with her head in her hands. Come on. We entered her house and made her a cup of tea. When I found her in the living room, she had untied her dog and was curled up with it, crying. I set the tea down and sat beside her. I'm so scared, she whispered, after a good 10 minutes of sobbing. I didn't answer. I couldn't. I'm going to sleep, she mumbled suddenly, and was under within the minute. Sleep was starting to sound pretty good all of a sudden. My eyelids suddenly felt like they were being weighed down. I collapsed to the rug. The last thing I heard before I fell asleep was scurrying of several sets of little feet nearby. I felt so much better the next day, as if the whole affair had been a dream. I probably have believed that if I hadn't been awoken by Lucy's mother this morning, wondering what I was doing sleeping over without permission or anything. Over breakfast, Lucy asked me why I looked so pale and nervous. I turned to her and smiled, mumbling something about not feeling so good. But the truth was, I was scared because I couldn't see the strings, and I was wondering whether my actions were truly my own. I don't know how I like that one. It was all right. Wasn't scary. What the hell is this shit? Close that. Wait, let me focus this thing. I gotta zoom it all the way in. Ah! Well, let's fix that. Boop. And then zoom it out. How you doing, Ed? You doing good? How's that phone case fitting you? I was laughing at the dessert frog picture. I don't know what that is. Is there something in my Discord? Desert frog? Oh, you talking about the one that squeaks? The desert rain frog? It's like a little ball with legs. How'd you get that scar on your head? This one? I was a child. Jump in, server, antennas, wrath, and influence cleanup. Playing Viscera cleanup crew. If you want to jump in, server, it's Athens. Oh. How's everybody doing? Cody's son, how you doing, Bubba? Let me see here. Tom was asking me if I wanted to join him in a game. I would love to, but I don't have the game. Oh well. Did you get the Marilyn Manson story link? I don't know that one. Why is my camera like wonk? Let's make it less wonky. There we go. Story. You put a link in here? Oh yeah, you can see it. It's growing back. No more games. Tinfoil Tom asked me to play with him. But I don't have it, so look in your email. Let me check my email. Doop doop doopity doop 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 doopity doo. All in the family. Oh. I will, I'm having a hard time with this link right now. I will, because I can only check it on my phone. I will fix it, and I will read it next time. Guys, let's Chappy have a break from video games for a while. Y'all don't like when I play video games? Aw. I played the forest today with Pip. It was fun. We're down. We're down to 21 people. We were at 30. Let's see here. Something is happening with my computer. I'll watch other games, not you. You don't like when I play games? I love that you play video games, Chappy. Is this an intervention? Oh. You spend too long on one game. Yeah, that's why Tom was asking me to play a different game that I didn't have. So, nah. And I do play... Oh, jeez. Hair. I do play a bunch of games. I play a few games. He plays boring stuff. Jeez. Doobity doo, doobity doo. Doop doop doobity doo. I'm blunt. It's okay. So I'm probably going to be ending it soon because other people are going to be streaming later, and I want to go to those streams. I know Blackie's going to be doing a stream later. So let me find another short one. We can't please them all, eh, Chappy? It's fine. I like the beach game, boat games. What's happening here? There we go. How's everybody doing? Let's find... Here's a short one. It's called The Baby Doll. I might read a couple of these. Thanks, Ed. I love you, buddy. In rural southern Illinois, a toy company began selling realistic baby dolls to expectant mothers. But apparently, after the mother had her child, the toy baby would start crying. Eventually, the rocking motion advertised to calm it down wouldn't work. And you couldn't get it to stop without shaking it. Eventually, when it started crying, the parent would have to beat it. And the beatings and thrashings would have to get harder and harder to get it to be quiet. The only thing that seemed to shut the baby up down, or shut it up permanently, was to bash its head against the wall to destroy whatever mechanism triggered the crying. On more than one occasion, though, the neighbors called the authorities to report child abuse. When the police arrived, where they found the bloody remains of infants smeared across the walls of the floor. In most cases, the mother couldn't understand why the police were there. She got rid of the stupid doll as she rocked a baby-shaped bundle in her arms. That's a little bit weird. Los Chapitos. That's right. ASMR chewing. Am I doing it right? Here's one. This one's called A Child's Eyes. Every child fears under the bed. If they don't, they fear the closet. Or maybe that little crack in the almost closed door. Scientists know that children are more perceptive. They see things adults don't. They aren't yet tethered into the only accepting what society wants them to accept. They see what's truly there. They see the monsters. If you were to borrow a children's eyes and see through them at night, you would go insane. To be able to see what only you dimly remember, burrowing into your covers while wearing those train pajamas, hoping to God you can barely comprehend it, doesn't see you back, would drive an adult crazy because adults forget the rules. 1. Cover yourself. If you can't see it, it can't see you, even if it makes it harder to breathe. 2. Don't make a noise. Every whimper can lead to destruction. 3. Don't move. It attracts their attention. 4. Only light can make them go away. Bright light. Flashlights make it worse. Teens are caught in the middle. They still feel what's there, but they cannot see it. And they forget the rules. Why do you think there are so many insomniacs typing at their keyboards, subconsciously praying for the light from their monitors will be enough to keep them away? It's not. Now look behind you with a child's eyes and try not to scream. There we go. That was a little out of focus. Maybe you remember, Ed. Maybe you don't want to remember. Alright, so I'm going to do one more story and then we'll call it quits for the night. Closet monsters are the worst. This one is called Evening Routine. Don't look up at the mirror. You know how it always goes. They look up at the mirror and it's right there behind them. Just stare down and turn the sink handle. Reach over the bowl. Reach over for the towel. No. Whatever you felt isn't there. Bring your hand back. You don't need to dry them anyway. You're going to bed. Keep your head down. Keep your hair over your face like a visor. Look at your feet when you turn around. Now pull open the door. Don't look ahead, down the hall, of course. It'll be standing right there watching you. Just keep looking down. Act like you're half awake. Maybe you can fool it. Turn left and go straight ahead. Don't look down the left or right halls as you reach your door. Don't even indulge your peripheral vision. Just get there. Go to your computer and turn off the screen. You know exactly where the switch is, but don't look at what's flashing on the screen. You know whatever is on there isn't what you left it on. Just kneel. Kneel. Just kneel and hold the power button. Should only take 5 or so seconds. Come on. Now turn and walk to your dresser like before. No, don't look. It's feet. Look at yours. Keep looking down and walking. Don't walk too slow. Don't walk too fast. Pull off your shirt. Don't take forever getting these things off. Do it quickly. Same with your parents. Careful. Don't trip yourself. Open the drawer. Just put them both in. Who cares if it's just one of her shirts? Don't look at what else is in there. Just close it. Some of the shirts got cut up top. Open it again. Shove it in. Close it. Okay. Now turn again. Look down. Don't stand too close to the bottom of the bed. Don't let it grab your ankles. Just get on the bed. Now move the pillows and lie on your side with your back to the wall. Keep your eyes closed. Ignore the freezing wall. Grip the covers from the inside tightly in case it tries to pull them off. Keep your eyes shut. Don't listen to it. Keep your eyes shut and go to sleep. But if I don't look at the screen, I can't see Chappy. Oh, Sleek. You can see me in your mind. Just think of me as more better looking. I would appreciate that. So anyways, folks, that shall conclude the stream. I do appreciate you all being here. It was a lot of fun. Before we go, I gotcha. We gotta put on some Burt's Bees. This Burt's Bees almost lasts me 1,000 subscribers. Yay, 1K. Winter V Rose. Aw, shit. Well, sorry. You're very welcome for the stories. Thank you all for being here. And thank you all for congratulating me on 1K. I really couldn't have done it without you. And I don't mean that just to say, well, I can't do it without you. No, I mean, I can't keep pressing subscribe 1,000 times. It wouldn't work. I need all of you here. Chappy. I always love story time. Well, thank you all for being here. It's been wonderful. 1 year? Yeah, it took about a year. A year to get 1,000 subs, and a year to kill one of these. Thank you very much. And I'm not here to pat my own back or anything, you know. I'm just, I'm excited about the prospect of YouTube paying me. We'll see. So, you should all check out the Fish Fam streams are tonight. Pam, if you want to tell everybody who's streaming again. I know that Blackie, Dr. Black 66, is going to be doing an art sale. And Scrunge Princess She is a wonderful, creepy artist. I would love to buy some of her art. Unfortunately, Chappy is broke. Like really broke. Um yes, it's the 20 people in the chat right now that gave you 1,000 subs. That's right. Thank you very much. Um yeah, so till next time, make sure you don't turn around, whatever you do. If you feel something breathing on your neck, just keep walking and make sure you sleep well because it'll be watching. Thank you all for coming, and until next time, be creepy. Love you, bye.